The Calgary Flames have been one of the feel-good stories of the NHL so far this season. The overperforming team has their fans elated, but the bad news had to come eventually. Not only did the team suffer their first regulation loss of the season, we have a very strange update about a potential suspension for the team's top prospect. And we're going to get into that kind of, touchier subject a little later on in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And I just had to check that I'm actually recorded this once, footage corrupted, but here we are again, and let's hop in to the unfortunate Flames' first regulation loss that occurred last night. Yes, the team had only lost in overtime, of course, to Seattle, but it eventually had to come, and it came in game number 7. In case you missed it last night, well, it looks as though the Flames lost 4-2 to the Carolina Hurricanes, and it was an interesting game. You know, the Flames looked terrible through the first half of this game, really turned it on later, as, you know, the find-away Flames normally do, but weren't able to come all the way back in this one, and there's, you know, a little bit of, a dilemma in part of the fan base as questioning what the heck the coaching was doing playing both Rooney and Kirkland in this game. Everyone thought once Rooney was healthy, would they just send Kirkland back down? Or what did that mean? Why did they play both? And it's an interesting thing to note. So if we take a quick look at the box score from last night, the first man we need to highlight is Dan Vladar. He gets the L in this one, and it's funny because it's the first time he's played at home this season and got the L. Clearly we need to keep playing Wolfie in the home games, but no, this one was not his fault. He faced 42 shots against, and this game didn't even go out of regulation, so that's in 60 minutes, or technically less because we obviously pulled the goalie. So 42 shots against, and he made 39 saves for a .929 save percentage. That's all you could really ask from him, but unfortunately he does get that L on his record, which is too bad. Really unfortunate there. If we take a look at the scorers for the Flames, Jake Bean gets his first as a Flame. The Calgary boy finds his way onto the score sheet. Congratulations to him. And we also saw Jonathan Huberdeau get a goal. He kind of got a greasier rebound in the third period to knock it down to a 1-goal deficit, but unfortunately that was all the Flames could muster up. If you get that first assistman there down, Justin Costco Kirkland once again getting on the score sheet, finding another assist. What a great story, and it continues. And like I said, it's interesting. A lot of people are saying, why both Kirkland and Rooney playing? That obviously meant Klapka went down, so interesting to play them. And I don't know, let me know down in the comments if they have to choose between one of them. Would you rather have Rooney in or Kirkland in? Personally, I sway more towards, you know, the feel-good story of Justin Kirkland. Might as well ride it while he's hot. I mean, of course, and then we'll have to see. But let me know who you think the Flames should play. We also saw Backlund, Zary, and Andersson get the other assists in this one. Kind of interesting. Again, you know, the Flames did mix some lines around, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But they tried to fix it, obviously, with a healthy Kirkland and Rooney, and it switched some lines around. Pospisil was playing with Kadri and Kuzmenko, and I don't know, it's not that they played bad, but they just didn't click as much as most people thought, and I think they all finished with a -2 on the night, so not exactly fantastic. Maybe go back to how the lines were before when we were successful. Let's get into some quotes from some of the players that are very nice to see. Here's one from Pickles. "We were just a little flat for the first 25 minutes of the game, 30 minutes of the game," Flames forward Blake Coleman said per NHL.com. "We gave a good team a few power play opportunities and they cashed in. But I thought the response was good. We were never out of the game. We came back and made it a 1-goal game with a chance to tie it late. We've played with fire a little bit getting behind in some games, and you're not going to come back every time. Just take it as a lesson to start on time and go from there." And it's true. You know, the Flames really were not a great team in the first half of this game, and they can't always rely on finding a way and making a comeback. Kind of like the 2015 Flames. They're such similar teams in the way that they were expected to be a rebuilding team, and then the Flames ended up being so good that year, made the playoffs, made it to the second round. And this Flames team, I know it's only 7 games in, but they're already overperforming quite a bit, but playing with that fire, not playing good enough, you can't always come back from that, and last night was obviously evidence of that. To get another quote, we've got one from the goalkeeper, the goaltender, I should say, is this soccer. "We know what we have in this locker room," Vladar said post-game. "We have a bunch of really good leaders here, and we are really good friends, like one big family. We have no doubt in ourselves. We know we are good. We just have to play like the last 30 minutes. So not only does he kind of reiterate what Coleman is saying about needing to play like how they did in the second half, and they'll be pretty much unstoppable, but I love the notes of camaraderie and just the kind of like family ties going on. It's good to know that they're all besties in their tight-knit group. I think that's why they're playing so well lately. The surprising Flames will look to get back on track on Saturday against the red-hot Winnipeg Jets, who remain undefeated at 7-0-0. Yeah, whatever. Congratulations, Winnipeg. Calgary's going to be the team to knock you off. No, I'm not too sure about that, but it would be a huge statement win if the Flames can beat Winnipeg and people would take us fully seriously. But let's get into, I guess, the strange part of this video. Again, it's somewhat of a touchy subject, and it's this strange suspension scenario going on with the man in the thumbnail. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about this, but I did want to talk about it because it is kind of weird what's going on. So report, Calgary Flames prospect Zane Parekh likely to be suspended after altercation with fan. And already that headline is not good at all, but let's dive in. Reports came out on Thursday that 2024 first-round pick Zane Parekh was involved in an altercation with a fan. Initial reports noted that Parekh struck a fan with his stick after being ejected from the game. And already, this is very, very bad. One of the worst things you can do in just that whole scenario is obviously strike a fan with your hockey stick. I mean, it's in so many ways a big crime, and it's just a very bad scenario, but there's more to it than just this. So here's what we know about the situation. There is a suspension coming for Parekh. In Wednesday's game between the Sioux Greyhounds and Saginaw Spirit, Parekh was ejected late in the third period after taking a run at Owen Allard. Allard, who was in a vulnerable position against the boards, was able to get up immediately, but the hit itself was still irresponsible by Parekh. And the hit was the reason for the ejection. It won't be the reason for the suspension. So the way it works in junior is kind of like how college football is to NFL, where in the, I guess, lower league, so not professionally, they just take safety very seriously. So anything kind of, out of the rule book is an automatic ejection, but it doesn't necessarily mean a suspension. So that wasn't what was the bad part. The bad part was what we're going to continue with a little bit here. So after being ejected, Parekh allegedly went into the stands and struck a fan with his stick. Online speculation suggests potential racial comments were involved, but so far this has not been confirmed by either the player or the organization or the league or anything. And again, I just want to reiterate that I don't really have all the facts right now. No one really has all the facts right now. We need kind of like an eyewitness of the people there, and so far that hasn't come to light yet. So I'm trying to get all the right information out to you guys, but again, the word allegedly is obviously going to be key here, and it's very interesting. So Parekh allegedly went into the stands and struck a fan with his stick. Already, what? That is terrible, super bad situation. But online speculation suggests potential racial comments, and this would add up. I'm not saying this is exactly what happened. Again, it's a lot of he say, she say, but it seems like this could be very well the scenario that happened. But potential racial comments. Now, obviously, Parekh, he has Indian heritage and South Korean heritage, so it could be true that racial comments were involved. And just, I've also heard that he didn't necessarily, whack a man with his stick or anything. It was more so gave him like a spear, which still terrible. Why would you ever do that? I mean, again, I don't want to say anything that isn't fact, but I've heard, from what I read online, I scoured the internet for hours today trying to figure out the truth. Don't tell my boss I was doing that at work. But either way, I wanted to get to the truth, but there's just nothing out there. And one other guy who was looking for the truth was this user here from the Calgary Flames Reddit, Sir Lunatic. So he said, rumor, Parekh allegedly involved in incident with fan. Most of us saw the previous thread with the sensationalized headline claiming there Parekh has been suspended, even though the Twitter link was clearly speculation on a possible suspension. I've also heard the number that it's a 10-game suspension, but again, nothing's been concrete. The league hasn't released anything, the team, the player, nothing. It's strange. Very, very strange situation. I really want to reiterate how strange this update is. There's no legitimate sources confirming an incident has taken place, that anything has even taken place. I don't know why anyone would make this kind of thing up, but still, there's no concrete proof that it's happened. I looked at the highlight package. They must have cut it out of that. And again, I wasn't watching the broadcast of the Sioux Greyhounds and the Saginaw Spirit, so I couldn't tell you, but why would someone make this up? It's just very, very strange. I tweeted Mike Gould, Pat Steinberg, and Flames Nation to ask if they have heard anything, and all I have gotten back is this reply from Gould. I haven't heard anything concrete. We'll probably have to wait until the OHL says anything. As it stands, the OHL has not said anything to my knowledge about any possible incident. And that's true at the same time that I'm recording this. Nothing more has come out involving a suspension or any sort of proof of this incident or what's going on at all. Again, why would anyone make it up? It's just super strange overall. I was going to show kind of some opinions from Flames fans on this, but I realized it just mixes facts and opinion too much, and I want to stick to the facts as much as I can. So it's interesting, and of course I'll update you once the facts do come to light. But again, what a strange situation overall. There's no room for racism in hockey. There's no room for racism in the world at all, but there's also no room for that violence. And it's just, again, strange situation overall. I'll update you with the facts when we know them. Let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do, and it comes from the most previous video about potential trades, and this one comes from a regular around here, and I gotta be honest, don't really know how to pronounce your name. I sometimes read it as Kaylin Clint and sometimes as Kayla N. Clint, and you'll have to let me know in the comments which one it is. But they say, I hope Conroy doesn't trade anything/anyone. I was super excited for this group before the season started, and it is true. It doesn't seem like the Flames will do anything external when they switch around players, because they still have quite a bit to do internally when it comes to switching things around, with Sharky coming back, and like we already saw with Rooney coming back. What does that mean for Kirkland, for guys like Klapka and Coronado? We'll just have to wait and see. Doesn't seem like they will make any trades, but we will have to wait and see, of course. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like we saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.